Okay, on our checklist sheet, you can see that 44 has our measurements of our stiles and rails. Okay, so I also have it up here. So our stiles, the thickness of them will be 13/16 thick by 2 1/8 wide, and then by the length of our side plus 1/4 is going to be our length. So what does that mean? So when we go over to our project here, so when we measure to what this is, okay, it should be right around 21.5 inch, or excuse me, 20.5 inches. Okay, we're going to add 1/4 of an inch to that. And the reason we do that is so when we put it together, we can square it off so our ends are even. Okay, now our top rail and our bottom rail, we'll look at the top rail first. Our thickness is 13/16. Our width is 2.5, so it's the same width as our stiles. Okay, and our measurement, excuse me, is from side to side across the bottom, and then subtract 4 inches. Okay, and I'll explain more what that means. Same thing here, bottom rail is 13/16. Width, instead of being 2 1/8 like our other two were, this one is actually 3 1/8. And I'll get into that in a second. And the same thing, the measurement from the outside of the length is the measurement from the outsides of the sides across the bottom, subtract 4 inches. All right, so what does that mean? So when you're measuring for the length of the rails, okay, you're going to measure across the bottom here, okay, from outside to outside, and then you're going to subtract 4 inches. Don't measure here. And the reason we do this, don't measure here in case it is tipped in or tipped out. Okay, so we need them both to be straight in order for this face frame to be square. All right, so remember we talked about all both stiles and the top rail being the same. Okay, the reason why the bottom rail is not the same because we want that to cover up our bottom here. So, and if our bottom is supposed to be 3 inches off the ground, okay, that's why we're making ours a little bit, we're making it 3 inches, and then we're making it just a little bit wider. So when we trim that piece, it'll, we're just gonna square that up to get it even, so that'll still cover up the bottom there, okay? The thickness was all the same on all of them. I did grab some boards already. So I've got some boards that'll work. Why do I have this board? Well, I'm not gonna use the junky part in here with the knots, but this part here I can use, and I'll probably either get both stiles, or excuse me, I'll probably get both rails out of that piece. Okay, so next we're gonna go and look at how to create the face frame.